Hello, everybody. Windy Wanders the City. This is your host, Paul. We are here at the bottom of Greektown. We're going to try and hit Greektown and then Randolph Street and Fulton Market up at the top of this. So we're still east of the expressway. We're about to walk over the expressway. This is the Jane Byrne Exchange, or it used to be called the Spaghetti Bowl here. And this is the Congress Expressway heading out, and then you've got 294 heading north, and 90 heading west, and 94 heading south. Just a lot of traffic, a lot of challenges when you come through here. It's lunchtime, so a lot of folks in there struggling. Hello, Nance. Welcome in. And here we'll look north down the expressway. You're seeing quite a bit of traffic jam here. If you're ever here in Chicago, these streets right here, we're heading up the Kennedy, and just about a half mile up, there's about a mile-long tunnel that you go through. And once you come out of that, the highway has a flexible middle lane, which during the morning it's an inbound lane, and in the afternoon it's an outbound lane. Howdy, Quinsuki. Great to see you here. Now, it's funny. One of the more popular and more prominent restaurants here in Greektown is Giordano's. You know, that fine Greek pizza. If you really think about it, though, there's an awful lot of commonality amongst those northern Mediterranean countries, Greece, Italy. It's pizza in one country and it's flatbread in the next country. So Chicago, every once in a while, Chicago has these little themes. It started out with the cows maybe 10 years ago, and companies would buy the cows and then they would paint them. And then Greektown has done it a little bit more. So Greektown has these little boats, and different companies have sponsored this boat and allowed somebody to paint them. We're at the south end of Greektown on Halsted. Halsted is 800 west. And we are on Van Buren, which is 400 south. You've got the Athenian emblem here. Not sure what this statue is representing. Okay, it happens to be just a pillar. It's the United Hellenic American Congress with a Hellenic warrior at the top. And just a little bit more art down here. It's a Lessian field. Got the butterflies. So this would have been one of the past projects of statues, and many of the companies would have purchased a butterfly, and then they've collected them all up, and this is where their permanent home is going to be, apparently. And as I said, we're at the south end, so we're going to walk north up Halsted through Greektown. Now, Halsted here parallels the highway, right? We just crossed the highway back here. So the back of these buildings is the highway. The front of these buildings is Halsted. If we look back in here, these would have been manufactured at one point in time, but almost everything back in this neighborhood has now been converted into residential. You've got the National Hellenic Museum right here. There's some statuary inside of here. It's mostly a historical society for Greektown. Howdy, Chris. Again, just one of those seasons of statues, and this season happened to be the owls. We're going to walk up here, and there's going to be some long-term Greek restaurants that we're going to go past. And then some other, let's say, not quite as old or historic in this area, but they're definitely Greek influenced as we come up. So you've got Nine Muses, which is this first restaurant. Love coming. They got a nice bar. Love coming here for the appetizers, the grape leaves, olives, a lot of excellent stuff. And then they've got just traditional Greek foods as well in here. Normally, I don't know why it's not out right now, but normally there's an awning over this space. It's 4,000 degrees out here in Chicago, so hard to believe that they don't have that down. These roads dead end because you've got the highway behind us. And then we've got another opportunity for a mural here. No idea who Prince Nicholas is, but some beautiful artwork there. Across the street is both a restaurant and a hostel. So up here would be the hostel. For those of you who don't know, right, it's usually, I always attribute it to college age people who are moving across the country on the cheap, usually backpack hiking, things of that nature. So you've got that. The Artopolis is a bakery. Got the Athenian Candle Company. On this side, Greektown Nails. Melly is not Greek, right? It's we can see this particular Melly cafes are all over the city. I like the old sign here. Got a cement truck coming by. Love the old neon sign here, right? So Athenian Candle Company's got the sign there. Now we're on Jackson. This is our first opportunity to go back across the highway. Mr. Greek Gyros. Another one that I like here is the Taco, Burrito, and King, and it really is just tacos and burritos. Again, you're seeing some of the statuary. Now we're coming up to the two more well-known Greek restaurants, the Athenia, and on the corner will be the Greek Islands. So this is where you're going to get the, boy, is it, what's the flaming cheese? Naganaki? Howdy, declared Dave. So we've got Athena restaurant here. They have, you'll see this in the front. So on this side, it's a traditional indoor restaurant, four walls and a ceiling. Over here, you've got outdoor seating, but they can create a cover if, let's say, it was bad weather or raining inclement in the winter. They'll put heaters in there. But you can see that you've got that big open space. And then we get up to Greek Island. And again, this is just another one of those, if you're going to come to Greektown, this is one of the two restaurants you're going to go to. You're probably going to Athena or you're going to the Greek Islands. By the way, I really do approve of the Nine Muses. It used to be a place, when I do my blog posting, I usually go to Nine Muses to sit down, grab a beverage, and start writing. Again, it's not that deep, right? Greektown is really only the width of the street and then the side streets. From here forward, we won't really see a heavy Greek presence. You've got Dugan's Pub here, right? For all the Irish Greek folks out there. City Bird, great sandwich place. Then we've got a couple of shopping markets here. We've got Mariano's, part of the Kroger brand of foods, and there is a Whole Foods that we'll go past as well. Howdy. The Walgreens is playing some music here. The sidewalk pottery, right? So there still has a Greek influence, but the stores and the retail at this point has now given up on the Greek theme. We'll have one more, and I think that this is, you'll see this in the thumbnail, although it was during the Greek festival, so it would have been wrapped in blue and white bunting. And then we'll keep on pushing north. Very quickly, there's a very small transition between the top of Greektown and Randolph Street. Now, Randolph Street is a very dense food area. So, if you remember, from Food TV, the woman who at one point, I think she won Top Chef, but she might have just been a contender. And she is the girl and the goat, and then you've got Little Goat, and then Goat's Little Picnic, and she also has a Cuban restaurant atop the Hoxton, Hoxton. Here we've got, this building would have been a bank at one point in time. Then you've got the newer Fifth Third Bank right below us, or above us, I guess. Oops, sorry. We're traveling north on Halsted. We've now gotten to Madison. So Madison is the north-south zero streets in Chicago. Everything behind me is south side. Everything ahead of me is north side. Again, you've got the highway right here with an entrance. Whole Foods Market in front of us. The Mariano's behind us, that's a multi-level store. The Whole Foods has a bigger floor plate, but it's only got the one level. Just behind this building is a park again. And again, as I said, that this used to be factory, so you'll see an awful lot of buildings that have been turned into residential. And one of the things they did, because those factories didn't originally have balconies, is it's very typical for them to have a balcony with metal supports holding them up to the wall. And they're very thin balconies, right? Because you just can't put that much weight on it. They weren't built to be balconies. We'll now come to Washington. The next street after Washington is Randolph and then Lake Street. Lake Street, if we recall, is the street that is the northern boundary of the Loop's elevated system. And that in this point, we've escaped the Loop. We're west of the Loop. This would be where the pink lines and the green lines head west. So the green line's going to go west all the way to Oak Park. The pink line will go west for a little while and then head south almost towards Midway Airport. If we look down the street here, so these two streets together, and there'll be an awful lot of density in restaurants. That's the pizza parlor down there. It's actually called Parlor Pizza. It's got a beautiful, large outdoor space. Let's see. You know what I'll do? I will go ahead and we'll run / walk that way. We'll just get a shot at that, and then we'll walk back to Halstead on Randolph Street. Very hot out here today. We're about 95 degrees, full sun. Earlier, I had mentioned, right, that you've got the balconies, and you'll notice that the balconies have that, it's not a cable, that's actually a steel rod that's on there, and it's being supported by the balcony above and anchored to the wall. And then you've got the cantilevered patio that the residents can, usually it's coming out of a bedroom, sometimes it comes out of a living room. Green Street is one of my favorite streets here in this district. I really like a lot of the restaurants on this road. So this first one is Pizza Parlor. They've had some struggles in the past. They didn't really pay their employees very well, and there was a bit of a strike. But just behind it is the Green Street Meats. And there's on both sides of the street now, there'll be boutique restaurants. You've got the Soho right here. You've got if you can see the bar inside there. Excuse me. A lot of people down here today. They've got the outdoor sidewalk. And we're going to walk across the street real quick, and we're going to go. By the way, Green Street Meats, one of my favorite places here in the area. This building right here that has the Soeda coffee on it. So it's a coffee shop up front. It's a coffee shop also in the basement. The Green Street Meats is in here, and there's also a bar in here. So the building is, multi-purpose streets. And then if we walk into this space, if you could smell it, you'd be so happy right now. Later on, I'll figure out how to do a smell-o-vision on our YouTube. But just a quaint little alley here. Right. You've got the Trevally Tavern here, and then the Lobster Bar and Champagne. So these aren't opened yet. They're usually more in the evening time. And if I was walking around that corner, I could escape the alley over there as well. In Green Street Smoked Meats, you buy your meat by the weight. You'll notice on the table, there's a cookie sheet tray with brown paper, and you really you go past the smoker and you say, give me some of that meat, give me some of that meat, give me some of that meat. They put it on your tray, and you go to the counter. Now, the legacy heart of this district has always been Randolph Street, and Randolph Street is the street that we're coming up to. Nowadays, they've been building up the 2 blocks north of this a great deal. But these blocks have been here for quite some time, and there's a Randolph music festival, food and music festival, that happens every year. So, it's one of those things that it's a great thing to come to. They've got bands set up every couple of blocks. We're going to walk back to Halstead and then capture the rest of the street. The Fulton Market, this used to be the meatpacking district of Chicago. Many years ago, I worked at a company in this area. It was a computer consulting company. And at lunchtime, even in the morning, there would be trucks backing up to these buildings, and there would be meat products having freshly been unalived, being put on trucks, and you were going to work with your nice computer. We had to wear shirt and tie back in the day, so we're wearing a shirt and tie, and There's folks in their butchers in their white lab coats with the inside liquids of some of those meats all over their elements. So here we've got the Haymarket Brewery. Now, Chicago is famous for one of the things that they had was the Haymarket Riot, and this is basically an homage to that Haymarket Riot. This is their drinking establishment, so they've got the beer and the food here, but this is actually brewed on the other side of the lake in just north of New Buffalo. And this is Halstead, so we were walking up Halstead. This was where we would have seen Greektown back at the other end. As we come up, right, you've got Como over here. You have Girl and the Goat in the orange sign down the street. This happened mostly during COVID. This used to be parking spots here, but now you can see the sidewalk is sidewalk and even the parking spots are being used as dining spaces here. See if I can get across quickly. Again, we'll just kind of go through here. You've got the sidewalk fair. Hopefully these are tourists, but it might be just people taking an early day of lunch. I'm getting quite a bit of glare off the screen real quick, but I'll look at comments as soon as we get around the corner here. There's a lot more empty space here, so I think that some of these restaurants have been struggling, and part of that is going to be due to the fact that, like I said, the 2 blocks north of here on Fulton itself, there's been an awful lot of growth, and the restaurants and the cool kids have kind of been moving north a couple of blocks. Actually, this used to be one of the Girl and the Goat's places as well, but they've struggled. So, right, you can see it's been an amazing 10 years for Girl and the Goat. I'll walk back. So we'll walk down east-west. We'll walk down Randolph for a little bit, and then I'll walk back on Fulton Street in just a few blocks. So we've got Bar Sienna here. There's also a Bar Sienna in the North Loop. This is a great place. So right up there, just a beautiful seat to have. So if you have that window, you're looking back into the city. Oops, sorry. You're looking back into the city, so you've got great views of some of the tall buildings back here. There's some popular names here, and the locals, you know, they're not national brands, but the locals really do enjoy it. So Bandit across the street here with the neon sign and the black awnings, or the black umbrellas. Next one is Cruz Blanca on the next corner. And Cruz Blanca is one of those places that they brew their own beer as well. It definitely has a south of the border flavor to it. Nobu. So this is definitely a little bit more upscale. This is a neat place across the street diagonally here, right? You can see JP Graziano. It's a grocery store, an Italian grocery store, so you can get all kinds of Italian import groceries, but also it's a sandwich store. So they'll make you a sandwich in there, fresh breads, they'll slice the meat right in there for you. We're midday, so it's not really surprising that there's not a lot of people out here, and it's, what, a Wednesday? Got Velvet Taco here. We saw Velvet Taco when we were in Old Town last week. And another restaurant that we'll have seen last week. So if we look across the street there, right, you've got the Goddess and the Grocer Bakery. So that is, again, one of those places. Bodega. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little camper in here. Mexican fare, so tacos, chips, salsa. We're not going to continue all the way down, but this is mostly food all the way down. It gets a little bit more sparse as we go through here. And McDonald's recently moved out of Oak Brook into this area, so the McDonald's University is now here on Randolph Street. It was available in definitely melting out here. I would also like to know. This, again, is another Chicago brand, right? So across the street in the pink building, it's called Voodoo Donuts. Make sure I've got you zoomed in on that. Yep, so Voodoo Donuts. And very eclectic stuff. So you're not just getting your glazed or baked cake donut there. You're getting fancy donuts over there. Maple, bacon, things of that nature. I think we're going to go ahead and take a right-hand turn here at Morgan. Now, again, this does extend a little bit further down. Kaiser Tiger is down there at Ogden. So this road will stop at dead ends in 4 blocks at Ogden. There's a city winery down here. You've got La Colombe. They actually do the coffee roasting in this building. But we're going to head north on Morgan. We'll head underneath the railroad tracks, or the L, here at Morgan Street, and pop up on Fulton Street. There's an exit here at Morgan. So again, you're seeing the artwork on the corner of the building here, right? Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and walk across there real quick. Ooh, we've got a little bit of a volcano or a tornado wind in here. This one, again, it's another popular place. So this patio is almost always full, and it's from brunch until early morning hours. Across the street, we've got more of the national brands with Molly's Cupcakes, Do Right Donuts, and the Shake Shack. Now, the restaurant, so the L goes down over the top of this street all the way to Oak Park. You'll see restaurants all the way down on this side, restaurants or retail stores. These aren't the restaurants. These are more national brands and small chains. Bar Taquito. And then we'll keep on heading up Morgan until we get to Fulton. Ahead of us, 2 blocks ahead of us, is the metro tracks. So those are those retail tracks. This is kind of, it's just a beautiful, I like the way these are set up. So if you look at this, we're looking at the back side of residential buildings. On the back side, there's a garage. Most of them are 2 or 3 car garages there. And then on top of that garage, they're usually garden space or picnic space for the tenants of that. And then you can see the residential element is the 3 stories that are in front of that. Ha. Yeah, you know what? I don't know the origin of a lot of the street names in this area. This is the Aviary, again, another Michelin restaurant. There's several Michelin restaurants here in the area. Something you'll notice, right, and again, almost everything here was a factory of some sort at one point in time and became retail or residential. And you can see you've got that long ramp up there, and that was basically because you were taking hand trucks up and down to get materials, whether or not it was manufactured goods or meat up and down, that the ramp was able to get you up there. Here we've got another Mexican-inspired restaurant, so lots of tequilas, tacos, Spanish beers, or Mexican beers. Got Swift and Sons. That, again, is another fairly upscale location. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk a block down this street, and then I'll come back on the other side. So Swift and Sons, it's more upscale, right? You're probably not getting a burger and fries here, although I'm sure they have the burger and fries. So you can see the seafood and steak. More artwork across the street there. We'll walk past those again as I come back down. Beautiful little cozy bar right inside here. Not sure if you're seeing that very well, if you're just seeing the reflection of me. I like this next place that's going to be across the street. You can see the blinking red lights ahead of me. That's the railroad tracks, so that's where you'll see a metro come through fairly quickly. Google has several buildings in this neighborhood. This is the boutique Emily Hotel, and again, you're seeing that rooftop garden right here in front, and there you're oftentimes going to see people out here having meals or drinks in this neighborhood. There's the train kind of coming through. We'll head back down to Fulton. Folks, I've got a poll up in the community tab space. What are some of the other towns? And by the way, if you pick Greektown, it'll be too late. If you pick Fulton Market, it'll be too late. But just an overhead garage painted. Then this is interesting how this artwork is. It's a relief element, so it's concrete, but it's almost a negative relief the way that they did the art on this. We'll head back to Fulton Market. I have a feeling that this didn't do well, so this used to be a bar here. You've got the side of the aviary again, Italian handmade champagne. A couple of new buildings going up here. No idea if that's going to be 100% residential or if they'll put retail at the bottom. Most of these will do retail at the bottom just because it's so lucrative. Pisos. Look at how cute this little quaint. It's only what the 2 windows wide is the length or the width of that building. This next spot is Time Out Market, and it's kind of an indoor carnival of food. There'll be several vendors inside of it. It's a food hall. So it does have a rooftop up here, but it's also got there's a a vaulted ceiling inside of this unit as well. You just can't see it that well, and I don't like going indoors with cameras. I kind of want to be able to ask permission on that. I'll have to come here at night so we can see in a little bit better. But you've got sushi, hamburgers, several bars, tacos, Mexican fare. We're going to get, again, a few upscales. So you've got Lira. Lira is going to be an upscale restaurant. We've already seen the Girl and the Goat. Now, granted, one of them was closed up front. But here you're seeing Duck Duck Goat on the corner. This one's Asian themed. This side is Kuma's Corner. Now, Kuma's original spot is on the northwest side, and that is an iconic location. This is still, it's a great burger. It's still the same burger. But if you ever come to Chicago, try to go to Kuma's Corner that's up on the northwest side. It's just an incredible atmosphere. This is a brand new atmosphere. So they just built out the building. That's the only reason I would say that. Again, you're seeing all of the sidewalk eating space here. The Emporium, Costa Cocina. Beatrix. Beatrix is, again, one of those brunch places. Now, they're really open all night, and it's got great food all day long, but it's kind of a go-to brunch location. This is the Publican. The Publican both has some of its own brewed beers as well as their own bakery. And they also have the spot across the street, which, again, is going to be more of their meat. So they'll do almost their own butchery on that side. As you can see, at nighttime, right, just a great place to come and have a meal, then walk next door and get a drink at the next spot. No idea why there's a car parked here in the middle of the intersection. But here we'll see the entrance to Fulton Market. Amarino Gelato. Bar Leroux. No idea what Aesthetic Studio is. I think it's a spa. Yeah. Boqueria. Again, Mexican or South American themed restaurant. And we are now back to Halsted. The train tracks, which are just to the left of us or a block north, they kind of divide this neighborhood. So, right, you see the rise, this hill, this street that rises over the top. That's going to take us over the railroad tracks, and that divides it from here. Just ahead of us is the expressway, so that's where the kind of the natural boundary is that way. If an expressway could be considered a natural boundary. And then Halsted is a pretty significant north-south street, so this is the boundary on this end of the element as well, or end of the neighborhood as well. All right, folks, I am going to walk up here. I'll look and see any questions. I know we don't have that many people in here. Hopefully it was an enjoyable tour. Saw a couple more neighborhoods. Maybe if you're ever coming to visit Chicago, you would have found some restaurants that say, hey, that'd be like a nice place to try. Let me head over there. I'll get us up to the top of the hill here, see if we can find a train coming by, and we will go ahead and close down the video. I want to thank you all for being here. If you find any pleasure in this, please consider liking, subscribing. Again, we're coming up on that 50 mark. Once I get 50, I can use the native application for YouTube. And when you use the native application for YouTube, I can zoom in and zoom out a little bit better. This is K2 rental or apartments. You can see there's the pool top is right there that we're looking at. And they've got the awnings above their day beds. See a train heading into the city from here, just went underneath us. This is the Metro tracks. Now, this is one of the few, we talked about it in most of the chats, that most of the train tracks go above ground. The Metro here is going at grade level. And this is one of the few neighborhoods that has that. Now, if you look 2 blocks ahead, you can see that the black bridge that goes across the street in front of me, that's the trains that come out of Ogilvie Station, and those are above grade. So again, those are elevated. This set of train tracks is at grade. You know what? We have seen this before. When we did this is where we finished the Milwaukee walk a couple of weeks ago. Folks, I'll give us a good shot of the American flag and the Chicago flag blowing in the breeze over there. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll shut down the stream. And I will see you soon. Thank you all.